A very good evening, everyone. On behalf of CSIR-NEERI, I extend a warm welcome to our esteemed chief guests, invitees, and colleagues. On May 11, 1998, as a part of Operation Shakti, India successfully conducted nuclear missile tests. The National Technology Day marks the celebration of India's success in nuclear technology field and also recognizes nations' advancements in technology, innovation, and scientific research. The National Technology Day lecture also serves as an occasion to commemorate the contributions of late Professor P. Khanna, who served as the director of NEERI from 1987 to 1999. Professor Khanna was instrumental in implementing significant scientific and technological changes for environmental protection during his tenure. Now, after this brief introduction, I request our director, sir, to welcome our chief guest with a plant sapling, please. Before we listen to our esteemed speaker, I request Director Sir Dr. Atul Vaidya to give a welcome speech to all of us.
Very good afternoon to all. Welcome to National Technology Day celebrations at CSIR-NEERI. It was already told, I think there is some correction on nuclear tests, explosions of 98. To commemorate that, we celebrate National Technology Day on every 11th May. And technology, some of the commemorating, we have to really strive hard every technology day. Just by remembering that India exploded nuclear tests, exploded nuclear bombs, then successful in acquiring hydrogen bomb technology. Just remembering is one thing, it's good to remember, but then how much we really strive for the technologies. I can see a person who is sitting here, Professor Mujumdar, who was chief in ISRO, many, I think in Thiruvananthapuram. And I was discussing with him shortly that he was the person who developed these solid and liquid fuel for the missiles and for the rockets in ISRO. He is the person sitting here, very old fellow. He knows what is the technology, how it has to be really employed, and how it has to be developed. Now, do we really get into those modes? No, I don't know. We keep on saying anything and everything as a technology. I move this frame from this place, I put it in some words, and I have technology to move this there. No, that is not a technology. Technology means it has a typical scientific principle behind it, a good engineering getting into that, and a commercial angle as well as technology must have repeatability. Technology must have consistency, and technology must have all the basic science and engineering principles engulfed together for the commercial application. So tomorrow, if I sell my technology, it should not happen that it works for one place and it fails another place. Technology has to work like mobile works anywhere. It's a technology, final technology. If I purchase mobile, operate it in Nagpur, as long as connection is there, it will operate. So that is the meaning of technology. Sometimes you do get failure and you should not be afraid of that in technology development. But on the whole, a technology should have a good science behind it, good engineering got into that, and then combination of these two should lead to a very commercially available technology so that the person or the client can purchase from you and you should assure outputs. That is called a technology. I do something and call it a technology. This is a common practice in CSR and in scientific community. I'm sorry to say, we tend to call anything and everything as a technology. I do something in laboratory, I call it technology. I do something in field, little bit or at some scale, I call it a technology. It's not a technology. There has to be a complete documentation. There has to be so many things so that when we call a technology, I should be ready with that. Anyway, that's a different issue. But today we have to remember the successes of our technology, the stalwarts who have developed the technologies for India, indigenous technologies. In addition to that, we have to understand what technology is really means and what we have to do for technology development. Just by commemorating days and celebrating and praising ISRO, praising DRDO is not enough. We should really think what we should do for ourselves in our own fields. That is one thing. Secondly, which you may be aware of, the old Navy staff and the Navy staff should know that of the Khanna Memorial Lecture we used to organize every year on 14th of August. That is his actually departure day of the Khanna. This year onwards, we are linking that Khanna Memorial Lecture to Technology Day Lecture. It is because Professor Khanna, that era has gone. Very few people, and fortunately, we have Dr. Satish Panchal, who knows stalwarts in the environment field. He himself is working in the environmental technology. So he knows all those stalwarts, right, from Arsiwala, Kantawala, and Ivana, and then we are discussing about NEERI Agarwal. So basically, Professor Khanna was the person who really strived hard to put whether he was successful or not is a different issue. What he did was a different issue, but he strived hard to put NEERI into technology mode in those days. And therefore, we thought we got the Management Council's approval for that also, so that we will link Khanna Memorial Lecture to the Technology Day Lecture. So it will permanently will remember a person who has done lot of things for the NEERI in technology, as far as technology is concerned. At least he has given the vision to develop process package, to develop technology packages. So this is additional thing which I wanted to say in our speech here. We are all waiting for chief guest speech on technology, environmental technologies, and again I will tell you, I can give a quick brief. Environmental technology is much different from the chemical and physical technology. You cannot compare sulfuric acid manufacture with the wastewater treatment technology. There is two different cups of tea. Unless you understand properly, you can never be a good technology developer in the environmental field. So with this, I wish you all the best, and I request all the young students, I am a research student, even my scientists, to really get into the realities of the technology, not just claiming something for the biodata purpose, for anything, just to put that I have developed high technology, none of us. It should not be like that. Please get into the reality of the technologies. And these are the days for which, on which we have to really remember all these things. So I again welcome you all for this Technology Day celebrations, and I am thankful to Panchaji to have come over here. Formal vote of thanks will be given later on, but you are welcome here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful words. Taking the session forward, I would like to introduce our speaker for today's lecture, Engineer Satish Panchal. After obtaining BE in Environmental Engineering from LD College of Engineering, Ahmedabad, Engineer Satish Panchal worked at an environmental consultancy firm in New Delhi for the industries like TISCO, Bhilai Steel Plant, and various chemical units across North India to address environmental management issues. Subsequently, from 1993 to 2010, he worked with distilleries, newsprint and paper mills, soda ash plants, and petrochemical plants in Gujarat state in different capacities, aiding the organization in achieving statutory norms for environmental health and safety issues. He also worked as an environmental engineer with the world's largest refinery, Kuwait National Petroleum Company, followed by Vadodara Enviro Channels Limited, as a CEO and subsequently managing director till October 2022. Currently, he is working as an independent environmental consultant as a founder of Satsang Enviro Advisors to aid both industry and society. He holds several distinctions and honors, such as being a chartered environmental engineer from the Institute of Engineers India, a lead assessor for EMS ISO 14001 approved by EARA UK, and a lead assessor for ISO 9000. Additionally, he serves as a convener of the CII-CGZ Core Committee on Environment, member of Environmental Committee of FICCI Gujarat, and is affiliated with ESOCAM among other organizations. I invite you, sir, to share your knowledge from your vast industrial experience.
to everyone and good afternoon. Industry experience and research and development. A little bit different. So, sir has already mentioned the exemplary work done by Professor P. Khanda. We also inspired today also in some of the industrial activities also, as far as environmental management is concerned. Sir also mentioned G.D. Agrawal, he was my first boss. I think somebody is aware, Dr. G.D. Agrawal, he was the first member secretary of Central Pollution Control Board. He started his own consultancy in Delhi, mainly on EI. So I worked there about 3.5 years. At that period, I also meet a lot of people, Dr. Tatawala, Dr. Syam Asolekar, and the most recently, Dr. Badrinarayana. I think you might be aware. He was with the Bayer India Limited, but I think this plant has been closed now in Thane. So I learned a lot of activity. Even Tatawala also, we also opened a chapter at Baroda for the Indian Environmental Association. So when I received an invitation from Prakash Bhai and sir, I mentioned that I am not going to make any R&D project. I haven't any R&D project. But whatever R&D you people have done, that we had implemented. How to commercialize. When the morning I visited your scientist, and I had seen 3-4 activities that is really appreciable. That can be commercialized as soon as possible in the market. The first one is the paperless toilet. Second one is the hydroelectric power generation, small unit. Then I mentioned a lot of industry required. So how to marketing, that we have to see. And the decentralized sewage treatment plant. All sewage treatment plant now overly exhausted. Why we should add the capacity every day. So that is the need of the hour. So sir rightly mentioned the technological development in IT field, in chemical field, in mechanical field is very fast. And in environment, not so much fast. It is already fast, but it has been not comes in the market. So last 3.5 decades, what I learned from the industry that I am going to share. So I made a topic basically automation, digitization, and IoT of wastewater treatment plant. And I just find out the theme from the Google. What is the theme of the National Technology Day? And the theme is very clear: the school to startup. I think some of the scientists they already have a capability to start up, and igniting young mind to innovate in environmental engineering field, not only environmental chemistry, environmental engineering field. So we all aware that this is the targets set by the United Nations, and the red mark. I think this is the very important, the 6th number. That is for all of us as an environmental scientist, as an environmental engineer. Whatever may be, we have to treat the wastewater to meet the norms. We already read in the newspaper, these rivers are polluted, this groundwater has been contaminated, this sea also now contaminated. A lot of fish has been died, a lot of marine life has been affected. So now there is no second thought. We have to think differently to treat the wastewater, at least so we can protect the water bodies for the next generation. So this is the situation. This is the same photograph in my previous organization. We discharge this type of water at the sea. You just imagine. And we have a 300 industry. We receive the so-called treated wastewater, and every day we have to move here and there, caught them, penalize them, issue a closure notice. So these are the stories that we handle. But what the main important, even in the morning I discussed with the gentleman also. Yeah. So I clearly mentioned that once top management is clear that yes, I have to protect the environment, then no force can restrict. In my previous organization, I think some gentlemen also from NEERI visited, and they made a lot of comments. And after that, Dr. Badrinarayana comes in the picture, and we done a lot of activities that I am going to share in some of the slides. So top management role is very important to comply the norms of the statutory body. And most of the industry, they are facing series of problems. कोई इंडस्ट्री बोलता है कि भाई नो आई एम बहुत कंफर्टेबल, नहीं कंफर्टेबल है तो मेरा रिवर करना नहीं होगा. So most of the industry they have a double standard. So we have to convince the industry to train them. मैं कोई हाई फाई प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं बनाया है, मैं बोला था साहब को भी, but I want to make a journey like my main content is fundamental of waste water treatment. हम सब लोग जानते हैं कि भाई ये प्राइमरी सिस्टम है, सेकेंडरी सिस्टम है, टर्सरी सिस्टम है, but what are the fundamentals that I am going to explain to you. Smart methodology. Generally, wastewater treatment plant operate by casual labor. You visit any industry, if it is a MNC, if it is a PSU, if it is a small scale, they are not operating by scientists or engineers. Then, on my basis of experience, we try to put a automation, because nowadays nobody is ready to work in dirty environment. Everybody wants a BPO job. So we train the people how it has to be implemented in automation. IoT, Internet of Things, to operate the pump. You can operate the pump from 1,000 kilometers far from away. What are the situation at my pump? And the robotic operation of sludge. Now already guidelines are there from the Supreme Court. We cannot allow to enter the people in the manhole. But till number of accidents happen. So how the robotic system we can implement it? The first and foremost important point is the material balance. This is very important. If any chemical plant, if you first understand the input and output, then you can easily understand what is the waste generation in terms of liquid waste, in terms of emission, in terms of hazardous waste, in terms of energy loss. So once we have a real-time material balance, you can definitely achieve your first step for the environmental management of wastewater treatment. We all know the pH. This is a standard I think everybody knows, and maybe jadoo nahi kiya usko. It's very simple. But the three important parameters: acidic, neutral, and alkaline. Now, how to make a digitization in this area? We measure with the pH strip. We call it the pH patti. Until some of the industry use, it's very cheap, but it doesn't give the correct value. It gives a random value. Then there is a universal indicator, that is a pH solution. Then table model pH meter, and nowadays a digital pH meter. So once we have a discharge, you can definitely put a digital pH every 15 minutes or every half an hour. In my previous organization, we put more than 40 pH meter, and it gives in a dashboard that I am coming later on. Now you just see this is the situation. Now there are 4 to 5, 6 discharge points. How we can measure the pH? If I can measure the pH at my outlet, and there is a interconnection, we don't know. There is a illegal connection, ghost connection. This happened. So at that time we need a digital pH meter at each and every line. And it is not so costly. It is hardly 20,000, 30,000. Now Indian manufacturers manufacture the pH meter, and it is regularly calibrated, so you can easily measure the pH. So this is the main fundamental issue. Now sewage treatment plant, lot of time we discuss why sewage treatment plant is not functioning. What we discharge in the sewage treatment plant from our home, we wash our floor, we use lot of acid, we use lot of alkaline in washing machine, floor washing, lot of phenyl we are using. That all goes to the sewage. Even sometimes the sewage treatment plant, you cannot check it what it is going on. Contain lot of solid materials. So जो बोलते हैं ट्रैप रखने का, तो कई लोग ट्रैप निकाल देते हैं और वो सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट में वो जाली ऊंचा कर देता है सीधा प्राइमरी क्लैरिफायर, सेकेंडरी क्लैरिफायर. This is the situation we have observed in couple of areas. Particularly in monsoon, you read a lot in all the newspaper, even in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu. Lot of runoff happen in industry. It may be acidic, it may be a color, it may be high COD, high BOD, some intentionally, some unintentionally. Now rain is very difficult to control. Even last 2018, there was a 28-inch rain in Gujarat in a single day. It was just, imagine, not manageable. My entire portion was collapsed. So definitely someone has to take the advantage, and ultimately it goes to farm area and ultimately reach to the underground state. So this is the situation and how we can control it. Even recently you read the newspaper or in the TV also, Dubai had a flood. Even as Madam had mentioned, I was working with the Kuwait KMPC in 2005 when I joined in the month of January. And my first round in the introduction, I asked a simple question: if you have a stormwater tank, they said we doesn't have a rain. I would just imagine they have to construct a stormwater tank. So the entire situation has been changed in a day by day. Second point is the neutralization, where we have to check the acidic wastewater or alkaline wastewater. Generally in industry, this is the area of R&D, I can say. Not R&D, research, development and demonstration. Now we have to change the name. Recently I was reading the article of Dubai mega trend, the 50 mega trends, Dubai Innovation Foundation, and they mentioned that R&D, research, development and demonstration. Sir has already mentioned that demonstration is very important. So neutralization, वो क्या करता है ऑपरेटर, वो लाइन का बेड डाल देता है, वो चला जाता है. But what happened? It will give an instant result. आजकल instant जो food आता है, instant result आ गया. But what they damage your entire agitating machinery. They deposit the solids and they create a further problem on your system plant. So generally use the industry, use the line. Line में भी बहुत सारा line. There is a white line, blue line, red line. You may not be heard the name because there are byproduct of some of the industry. So red line is a 2 rupees a kg and white line is 5 rupees a kg. So who is ready to spend money on environment? They say, okay, you purchase a 5 ton of two color line, and ultimately it creates a lot of problems. So line is not the solution. I mentioned one of the name, Professor M.T. Pandya. Dr. M.T. Pandya, I think you heard the name. He was a professor of Jain Engineering College. He was associated with us in 97, 98 in one of the biodegradable issue. And at that time, he advised that forget about the line. Make R&D on different solutions. So at that time, we checked with the caustic lye, caustic flake, soda ash, and then we decided caustic lye 10%, 15% solution is the best solution for the neutralization. So neutralization is very important. So everybody knows. So how to make a digitization here? So we made a digitization by putting a dosing form. And dosing form you can control with the IoT. So you can check from your home also how much lye has been goes in my neutralization area. So this is possible now. Technology is available. So IoT-based pump monitoring system can improve the efficiency, visibility, and predictive maintenance also. Because in wastewater treatment plant, maintenance is very high. Any wastewater treatment, because nobody is looking after very seriously. Then after that, we move from the neutralization. Now we have to identify which are the organic and which are the inorganic. Because we have an activator sludge process, treating filter, even RBC, the rotating biological compound, it is a fail in India. When I visited Munich in 2018, I had seen there are a number of RBC. They contacted us, why you should not marketing my product in India. But it is a fail in India. But it is a very simple technology. Why it is a fail? It's a surprise. Because we are not concerned about the regular maintenance. So carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and phosphorus, we all know all this. But why I should mention here? Because this is the fundamental of wastewater. Then it comes to co-circulation and flocculation. Generally, they add the alum and polyelectrolyte. 300 rupees kg, 400 rupees kg. वो उसको मालूम नहीं है कि भाई मुझे कितना डालना है. 1 kg डाल देगा. Now you have to make a solution. You have to make a dosing form, and then you can discharge into the fertilization tank and sedimentation tank. So you can remove it. Even one of the industry we had seen, the fertilization is completely bypassed. I asked why you bypass? Well, there is no necessity to fertilization. And they face the problem of equalization. There are a lot of deposition at the equalizer. In one of the pulp and paper industry in Surat, it has a 26,000 meter cube per day treatment plant. It was a very scientifically designed treatment plant. But when we go for the operation, we face a lot of difficulties due to bypassing of fertilization and coagulation tank. So these are the issues when you face in the industry. Then comes to the equalization bit. So once you have a fertilizated wastewater, coagulated wastewater, now you have to make an equalization. And generally, in the morning I discussed with Prakash Bhai, that CETP, why CETP is fake? You know, CETP concept, even Professor Khanna also encouraged at that time, it must be a homogeneous nature of wastewater. And then you can design a wastewater treatment plant. But nowadays, it is a heterogeneous nature of wastewater. It is very difficult. You visit any plant in CETP, it is very difficult. But now, as a scientist, as an engineer, we have to find out the solution. Why we should not like agrochemicals, petrochemicals, then drug and pharma, then electrochem industry. All these plants must have a primary treatment. Remove the metal, remove the toxic, and then goes to the aerobic treatment for the CET. If we want to go for a CET. So flow equalization is very important. Here, diffuse aerosol system, a lot of people use. And diffuse aerosol system mostly come from the abroad. But now with simple technology we had implemented in one company, we just made a lateral and header and put a good quality of blower after calculating the flow rate other. It works. 1998, I had implemented till it is working. Yesterday I got the message, sir. मैं पूछा था भाई वो चल रहा है मैं कल बोलने वाला हूँ तो it is working. So sometimes jugaad also work, but it's a scientific jugaad, not only just to put in show. Then primary clarifier. Here I mentioned the station name of Dr. Badri Narayana when he visited my plant in '97, and he observed a typical smell. We just acclimatized with the smell, so we had not observed any smell. And he said, Mr. Panchal, this is a typical anaerobic smell. What you are doing? So we discharged the primary bottom sludge in a one sum, and then from one sum we discharge into the dry intake, and we are retained for few days. So it anaerobic condition develop. He made a simple solution. बोले आपके पास गनी लेट है, मैं बोला है. कॉस्टिक है, मैं बोला है. बोले एक बकेट ले आओ, कॉस्टिक का सॉल्यूशन बनाओ थोड़ा सा, और कॉस्टिक डाल दो गनी लेट भिगाओ उसमें, और उसके ऊपर आप रख दो. Simple technology we implemented and our water problem was resolved. So sometimes we learn from the stalwart because they already implemented. Okay, we have a very small company, that's why he suggested. But if we have a fund, then he have a different solution also. So primary clarifier, this is a very serious issue. And even the primary clarifier, the rat arm, the skimmer, some of the industry has no skimmer. Even in 2001, we decided to have a skimmer. So we contacted one agent, one consultant, and ultimately we contacted Navbharat Enviro Engineers in Chennai. I think their company has been now merged with some other company. And that gentleman visited my area and he said, okay, you give me the drawing. I had given a drawing, the ammonia plant था मेरे पास में दे दिया. उन्होंने डिजाइन करके दे दिया, बोले 4 लाख रुपया होगा, आप इम्प्लीमेंट करें. हमारा कंपनी प्रॉब्लम में था. I convinced the management and we installed. 4 दिन नहीं चला. 4 दिन के बाद ठक 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 आवाज आ रहा. मैं उनको बुलाया, बोले गियर रेशियो में प्रॉब्लम है, ये प्रॉब्लम है, फलाना, वो सब मैंने कर 2 बार खाली कराया. And then we observed that plant was designed in 1984. I am talking in 2001 or 2. as a build drawing नहीं था. So when we go for a R&D, we must insist the industry, this is my R&D, when you are going to implement, make the drawing as per your actual construction. So it will help you. 84 आज 2024-40 साल पुरानी बात है, अभी भी वही प्राइमरी चल रहा है, but now they made a lot of modification. So the RAT is very important, and generally we have observed that the suspended solid 50 to 60%, normal settlement 3 to 4 hour retention time DG हो जाता है, COD भी होता है, BOD भी होता है, इतना नहीं होता है, but suspended solid जाता है. So it depends on particle size, density, and others. Other methodologies are also there, screen, seep, and filters that we already I think learned. And these are the different steps of the treatment. So screening, sedimentation, flotation, biological process, you may go for a treating filter, you may go for RBC, you may go for an ASV, anaerobic digester. I think anaerobic digester is a failed technology in India. A lot of people say कि हमको नहीं काम नहीं चल रहा. Fail नहीं है, operation issue. There are a lot of plants we have observed in Gujarat. It is not failed technology. We are not concentrating on the operation and maintenance. Then anaerobic and filtration. And these all are the treatment steps. Flotation and sedimentation. This is already I already mentioned. So I think in the morning you already seen some of the decentralized sewage treatment plant. So the same concept. This is a engineering. Your scientists, so we mix together and find out a solution. The sieving like this one, I think this is your case. The sieving, then surface filtration and depth filtration. तीनों point आपने cover किया. So it is already there in place. Already mentioned in the engineering philosophy. Chemical process में जैसे मैंने बताया कि भाई ferrous ammonium sulfate डालते हैं. Then we add the polyelectrolyte. So these all are the reaction. And sometimes disinfection is used to kill the bacteria. अभी तो आगे जाएंगे तो आपको हंसी आएगी कैसे कैसे ऑपरेट करता है. So rotating stump through the steamer effectively remove all grease, scum and floating material. Come until and unless as-built drawing and original drawing meet the same criteria. Then and then this system will work. Otherwise, industry is ready to spend the money, but they are not getting the result. So this is a very important issue. Some of the industries are now more ethical. Even one of the industry I worked for 10 years. Generally, environment engineer 1-2 साल में छोड़ देता है. कोई उसको satisfaction नहीं मिलता या तो उसको weightage नहीं मिलता है. But in my previous to previous organization, I was a key member in production activity. Every morning there is a 10:30. There is a PCM, production coordination meeting organized from my side, and I have to ask the maintenance people, production people, utility people, safety people, HR people, what are the issues? Why we should not achieve the target of production? And we have to sort out the problem. In one of the industry, it called as a hurdle meeting. So every day there is a one area they decided, like boiler, then cooling tower, then dryer. So there is a meeting happen every day. So you can get lot of information. So environment engineer बहुत important role है. Environment engineer कोई ऐसी चीज नहीं है कि भाई वो सामने भी बोला कि भाई chemical engineering और environment engineer में difference है, but you have to go deep and deep. कौन बोलेगा material balance check करे? Environment engineer में बोल क्या है? But environmental engineer का रोल ही है material balance. Dr. Shyam Asolekar, he spent at least 3 months in 2018-19 before COVID. He made 6 industries material balance, and that is a very dangerous manufacture HSE, vinyl sulfonate, DASA, and dye intermediate. It contained all the pollutants, and he evaluated what are the solid waste generation and what they explain to the author. Vast difference. So you cannot solve the problem in your overnight. So you have to go more and more deep. The sludge dewatering. This is a very important. Actually, my main interest is sludge dewatering. During 1999, we faced a serious problem. As Dr. Badrinara visited my plant, and he says, Mr. Panchal, sorry, I'm not happy with your performance or your plant. Because we mix primary clarifier sludge and secondary clarifier sludge in brine. It never dry. even 40-degree temperature in never dry, up to 15 days, 20 days. Then we decided let us have some sort of a dewatering system. So my management has given a full authority. Even project department, we had me. Mr. Panchal, you find out the agency. I visited Nagpur, Pune. At that time, I visited Nagpur also, Pune, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi. I given a 200 liter slurry samples, and I given a contract also for few amount also. You just give a solution. At that time, Now Bharat Enviro engineer, they given a solution of rotary vacuum purifier. We installed in 1999 of a 20 lakhs of rupees only for primary clarifier. From 1999 to 2010, 1 year बीच में छोड़ के मैं उसी इंडस्ट्री में था. Per day we are generating now 35 metric ton of primary clarifier sludge. अभी लास्ट मंथ मैंने पूछा, अभी 55 टन निकाला. The same system working, जो वैक्यूम पंप है वहां पर, जो नॉइस पोल्यूशन का इश्यू है, और काफी वो सेलिंग भी हो जाता है, लाइन यूज करता है, तो increase the percentage of solid, they add the line. But this system is working. And the pressure filter, I think most of the industry, I think in Maharashtra, I had visited in some of the industrial build. There are a number of industrial pressure, but इतना dirty है, आपको जाने का मन नहीं. So how to make it smart? How to make it clean? That is our activity. अब हम इंजीनियर लोगों को कभी-कभी प्रॉब्लम होता है कि माइक्रोबायोलॉजी हमको समझ में नहीं आता. कभी बैक्टीरिया क्या होता है, ई कोलाई क्या होता है. But Dr. M.T. Pandya, as I mentioned, he taught us how to operate the microscope. So her industry, those industry have a activator sludge process, must have a microscope. Now it latest model आ गया है. Automatic आपको पेट्री डिश रखा, आपको रिजल्ट मिल जाए. That is very important. So this issue is to identify the microbes. And he has developed one technology. I think right now he's in Malaysia. He is working in the palm industry. He also was 77 years. But sometime he called me. And he developed a soil enrichment technology. That is a very easy. आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट कहीं स्पिलेज हुआ होगा, आप वहां से सॉइल लीजिए, आप उसे से बनाइए बैक्टीरिया. मैं सुबह बात कर रहा था, बड़ौदा में आईपीसीएल प्लांट था पहले, अभी रिलायंस हो गया. वहां साइनाइड बीच है, एट्रिलोनाइट्राइल का वेस्ट वाटर आता है, जिसको ट्रीट करने के लिए साइनाइड भी खाता है, बैक्टीरिया मरता नहीं. जो 20 कलियां वाला जो बात था, हम जो सुन रहे थे, वो कंसेप्ट आज भी है. So microbes have a lot of capacity. That's why ASP is a good technology. Even in Leverkusen, when we have a Bayer में काम करता था, तो Leverkusen से हमारा नेटवर्क था, वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस होता था 2003-4 में. तो हम पूछते थे, what you are doing? You have a cold country, but we supply steam. We provide heat for the microbes. But ASP is still a good technology. So microbes are very important. So these all we have to be considered. I am not going into much detail, but I think so. Main objective, secondary clarifier to remove most of the fine suspended dissolved as well as degradable organic matter. Now those are undegradable, that we have to find out the special technology, special soil enrichment bacteria. So it removes basically BOD, and second objective is to reduce the ammonia toxicity, nitrification and denitrification. Now this concept is still not properly clear to the industry. You ask them, आपको मालूम है nitrification होता है, मेरे साथ वो नहीं मालूम. हम तो वो कैजुअल को बुलाए, ऊपर का स्लग निकालते. This is the only answer. So proper engineering, proper science has to be implemented. We implemented in one of the industry in that area. So three types of aerobic, anaerobic and facultative mixed type of treatment. And here, this is very important. It may have a diffuse aerator, it may have a surface aerator, it may have a different aerators nowadays. The facultative aerator, now some place facultative aerators. In some of the manufacturing Baroda, they manufacture the supply to the industry also. जो पॉकेट में है वहाँ ऑक्सीजन नहीं जाता है तो वो जाए. वो बेचने के लिए तो बहुत कुछ है, तो आपने बताया कि भाई मार्केटिंग तो बहुत अच्छा होता है. So, but here I am mentioning the dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen कोई मेजर नहीं है. आप कोई भी गैस लेने जाओ तो बोले मेरा 4 है, आपको बोल देता है। पर हाउ? वो सैंपल लेके आएगा, लेबोरेटरी में मेजर करेगा, तब तो फिर ठंडा हो जाएगा। और ये टेम्परेचर, जैसे टेम्परेचर बढ़ता है डाउन होता जाएगा। ये इधर 43 है, कभी-कभी गुजरात में भी 43, 44 होता है। तो कहाँ रहेगा? And then there is a strong and sludge, there bacteria on top of secondary layer. So पूरा आपका treatment खत्म हो। So dissolved oxygen is very important, and nowadays online DO meter is available. And we encourage the industry. It is not costly. A lot of people are manufacturing in India also. Calibrated also. Regular calibrated. You put, it's only a 3 lakhs or 4 lakh rupees of cost. I'm talking about the 2004 plan. Now उससे भी cheap आ गया हो. Technology has moved very fast. Then anaerobic, as I mentioned, basically the biogas, but it is a failed technology. लोग बोलता है. But I have a good experience in Ashok Organic, as I mentioned with the sir also. There is one good plant, the India's first biogas plant. They have a distillery, they have a molasses and the spent wash. Spent wash have a high acidic nature, 3 to 4 pH, high COD, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs COD, and temperature is very high. So that wastewater we treat and we generate the biogas, and that biogas we supply to the boiler, and boiler generate the steam. That steam supplied to the fermentation for the acetic acid manufacturing. So circular economy आज बात कर रहे हैं, वो circular 93, 94 में था. ठीक है, बात बंद हो गया because there is a lot of issues in molasses price. but ये वो fluctuate बहुत होता था, उस टाइम कंट्रोल था, अभी कंट्रोल नहीं है, partially control है. So these technologies are good, but it has to be properly understood and properly designed and properly operate. As I mentioned, trickling filter, RBC हम पसंद नहीं करते हैं, but RBC is a good technology in a decentralized way. Activator sludge, oxidization pond, lot of people, but now land is not available, so you cannot go for oxidization pond. And aerosol lagoon, you can change the name of aerosol zone bioreactor to aerosol lagoon. There is a चलता है इसका, करता है industry वाला. So activator sludge process, the few important parameters like MLSS, mixed liquor suspended solid. I think a lot of students are there. You just understand how to analyze. Even I remember when the NEERI people visited in my plant in '97, they asked me, Mr. Panchal, explain me how you analyze the MLSS. At that time, we doesn't have a EMOP tank भी नहीं था हमारे पास. तो ये सब जरूरी है कि कैसे हम मेजर करें. So we learn from the seniors also. So MLSS, where microbial suspension is settled and thickened, कैसे मेजर करना है वो मालूम नहीं होता. अब कॉलेज में भी जाओ, एनवायरमेंट ऑडिट होता है, आप पूछो कैसे करता है, सब वो तो लिख दिया, वो इंडस्ट्री वाले ने बोला है. तो ऐसा थोड़ी चलता है. You are scientist, you are engineer. So these are very important. So typically 99% suspended solid removed in a clarification step, primary and secondary. So everything is everywhere, but the environment select. This is very important for microbes. So microbes is very important, and they play a very important role to degrade the pollutant. Any pollutant they degrade. Only thing we have to be smart, like the microbes. So there are two types of microbe, heterotrophic as well as autotrophic. I think people are aware. So microorganisms that use organic compound for energy and growth, that is called the heterotrophic, and bacteria can that synthesize their own food, like with the sun and with the atmosphere. So it is an atmosphere bacteria. We have to choose the bacteria. So there is a lot of demand in microbiology. I think in MS University, those who are passing from the MSc microbiology, they have a very high demand. But most of them joining with the pharma industry, but they are not joining with the environment industry. So whenever we have discussion in the university, we always say 10-12 में से 2 लोगों को तो यहाँ भेजो, तो हम भी कुछ आगे हमारा माइक्रोब्स डेवलप कर सकें. But now the trend has been changed. So bacteria will grow when enough food is available. Now what is the enough food? Enough food is itself is a wastewater. But now some of the industry, what they add maida. They add good. महाराष्ट्र में गुड़ ज्यादा होता है. Sugar industry. They add good. they add maida, they add cow dung. Now you just imagine consultant say आप one tractor cow dung डाल दीजिए आपका बैक्टीरिया जबरदस्त हो जाए. Yes, it give an instant result. Noodles से मैगी है instant result दे देगा, but your entire wastewater treatment plant disturbed. My previous to previous, the paper industry experience. After my leaving the organization, because I got a good opportunity in some other area, they add 5 tractor sludge a day in their activated sludge process. And after 1 or 2 years, I got the message the plant was closed down by the authority. And they entirely plant clean. They remove more than 400 tractor truck sludge. वो कहाँ डाला पता नहीं. Because nearby there was a khali creek था, वो creek में डाला. So just imagine, it gives an instant result. It is better you develop a bacteria from soil enrichment technology or microbes. So after some time, organic pollutant is converted to bacteria, and the treated wastewater contain only bacteria, no pollution anymore. So that is a tertiary treatment that we can implement. So attached growth, suspended growth, I think these are the activated sludge process. But my main interest is to highlight the role of microbes, because microbe responsible for treatment and maintaining liquid suspension by appropriate mixing method. So that's why we require a diffuse aerator or whatever the aerator is available. अभी तो बहुत सारा नाम दे रहा है आजकल उसको जो टेक्नोलॉजी बेचने के लिए. Lot of consultants are available in the market. So biological process are conversion process of material by living organisms जो degrade कर देता है. And wastewater treatment bacteria are the most important group bacteria. They work horses of the activated sludge process. So वो हमारे लिए हमारा जो सेना है हमारा वो उसको हमको प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहिए. Now lot of people are not understand what is the importance of this parameter. भाई हम जब खाने में ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, आजकल सबको B12 हो गया है, D3 हो गया है, everywhere अब जाओ तो बोले आपको D3 है, B12 है. So BOD N/P is very important for activated sludge process. In 1997, we calculated on a day basis, every day, how much my BOD is there, how much my nitrogen is required, and how much phosphorus is there. Before that, we just add the urea back every day, and there is a nitrification. Phosphoric acid बोलता है कि phosphoric acid का एक डब्बा डाल दो, वो 5 लीटर 10 लीटर का डब्बा डाल देते. Then we had implemented a automation, dosing pump, simple dosing pump. वो भी 25,000 का आता है, उस टाइम 15,000 का आता होगा, अभी 25,000 का. उसमें भी innovation बहुत है. So synthetic wastewater prepared using menthol, glucose, and acetate as combined carbon source, ammonium chloride as a nitrogen source, and potassium hydrogen phosphate as a phosphorus. Phosphoric acid, यूरिया में कितना है? यूरिया का फॉर्मूला भी नहीं आता है. After working 20 years in the industry, we asked the question, can we explain the formula of urea? Every day the urea का खेलता है, पर वो नहीं बताता. So that is a very important. ये देखो cow dung वाला issue. They add cow dung every day. So addition of sewage, cow dung. तो they सीरम तो डाल दो उसको, कोई issue नहीं. Even lot of PSU also they have a colony more than 2 ml sewage per day. They discharge into the activated sludge process. वो सीवेज में क्या-क्या आता है वो तो बोल नहीं सकता मैं यहाँ पर. So why they should not have a separate sewage treatment? So secondary clarifier used to do the what are the remaining parameter, remaining suspended solid. जो recycle sludge, जो aging of sludge जो हो गया उसके बाद. Now this is very important. Now a lot of people are confused. मेरे पास एरिया है, मैं ओपन टू स्टाइल कर दूं. ये जो आप देख रहा है जो फर्स्ट वाला वो लाइव एग्जांपल है जो इंडस्ट्री का दिखा रहा हूं. पहले ये दोनों एक ही, पहले ये इतना बड़ा था, इतना बड़ा. डॉक्टर बद्रीनारायण आया, मुझे बोला कि पंचायत मेरा आके देखो. मैं इंडिया गया तो देखा तो काफी अच्छा सा सॉलिड हो रहा था. पेस्टिसाइड एग्रोकेमिकल इंडस्ट्री. no smell. इतना अच्छा और they are not allowed to construct a one bricks because there is a resistance from the Thane people not to allow it any further expansion. तो वो बम्बू लेके ड्रम के अंदर बम्बू रखते थे और पूरा टारपोलिन लगा के मॉनसून में कंट्रोल करते थे. सेम टेक्नोलॉजी में इम्प्लीमेंट किया and within a 1 lakh rupees a cost we just settle all the sludge. Primary separate कर दिया. And second, this is only a secondary sludge. And what we have done further, we make a compartment. Now Monday we discharge in one compartment, Tuesday we discharge in second compartment, Wednesday this one, Thursday this one. And within a 1 week, I have a liberty. ये खाली हो गया, दूसरे दिन वो ले सकता हूँ, तीसरे दिन ये ले सकता हूँ. So we have a liberty. So this is a smart automation I can see. Land is not available nowadays, but whatever the land is available, we have to make it in a very systematic. And this is a very important area in all the industry. You visit any industry in PS2 MNC, this is the most dirtiest area. अब कहीं भी जाइए, मैं आपको ओपन में मेरा 35 years का एक्सपीरियंस, मैं कई इंडस्ट्री में विजिट किया है, मुझे तो ये एरिया बहुत गंदा लगा. But now people has realized, समझ रहा है कि कैसे इम्प्रूव किया. Now another thing, industry always want what is my cost, economy and environment. हमको मैनेज करना है, डाइवोर्स नहीं करना है. तो लंबा तक रहे. हम बात कर रहे थे कि आजकल डाइवोर्स भी बढ़ रहा है, डाइवोर्स रेट भी बढ़ रहा है. तो इसमें भी डाइवोर्स रेट पहले से ही था. तो हमको तो उसमें महाराज बन के प्रॉपर शादी कराना है. How we can maintain. So how we can convince the authority or to the management, top management, chairman or president or managing director, what are the costs? So what are my chemical costs? What are my electricity costs? What are my sludge transportation costs? If I use the line, my sludge cost is very high. When my sludge cost is high, my disposal cost is also high. Now a landfill is not available. Now in Baroda, they are not going to expand any landfill. It is very difficult to get the approval. And there is a lot of resistance by the community also. Not in my backyard. No one wants a kachara. And why we should end that? Superfund issue in America. आज भी चल रहा है. 150 साल पुराना issue आज भी चल रहा है. But that is a developed nation who they can afford. But India cannot afford. हमको वैसा situation देखना है. हम तो नहीं रहेंगे 100 साल बाद. It may happen. So convince करना है मैनेजमेंट को. Administrative cost तो आपका है ही, वो तो मैन पावर है. You cannot consider as a separate cost of environment, but I consider as an administrative cost in environment, so I can contribute further, and this data will help in the ESG implementation. Environment, society, and governance में बहुत important आता है. Temperature, that is very important as I mentioned. We have to measure the temperature. But I had seen in Kuwait also, the activator sludge process, same process, even 50-55 temperature, ASP working very nice. No issue. I had seen in 1 year, the entire refinery waste, but in spite of, there were a lot of oil and grease problem, but the ASP is working very fine. So ASP is a very good technology. I am not marketing ASP, but this is a technology. Dissolved oxygen, so it has to be in between 1 to 2, it has to be maintained, and it has a dedicated instrument, has to be implemented in every ESP. अगर ESP इसके बिना है तो allow ही नहीं करना चाहिए. Sorry, I am not going to approve your activator sludge process plan. Control philosophy, that is the inlet and outlet, primary effluent and final effluent. So age of bacteria, that is very important. How to drain it, how to recycle. In one of the industries, they continuously recycle. Continuously, 24 घंटा recycle. हमने बोला आप drain तो करो. बोले अभी एज नहीं हुआ. मैं किसका एज नहीं हुआ? एज किसका नहीं हुआ है? बैक्टीरिया का एज नहीं हुआ तो आप कैसे पता चला? तो इवेल्यू है. There is a मेट्राबेडी में पूरा चैप्टर दिया है. So FM ratio, कोई FM ratio भी नहीं होता है. फूड तो मेरा है ना काउंटर. मैदा है. तो कैसे करेगा वो? 5 kg मैंने मैदा डाला, फिर माइक्रोब कितना है, कैसे कैलकुलेट करें? Very difficult. So we have to check BOD is to N is to P. So conventional activated sludge में 0.25 to 0.45 is a standard ratio. This is my own experience, and we had evaluated for more than 10 years. Every week we evaluated FM ratio. And extended aeration, okay, उसमें थोड़ा ज़्यादा air होता है, तो 0.05 to 0.15 तक चलता है. Key monitoring parameter, this is very important. The mixed liquor MLSS, MLVSS has to be checked. Volatile portion, that is very important. If the solid loading exceeds the plant design capacity, the MLVSS need to be adjusted. This is very important. Nobody is thinking this sentence. If solid loading exceeds, पर solid loading calculate करना आना चाहिए. वो बोले मेरा BOD 50 आ गया तो मुझे भी लोडिंग का टेंशन नहीं. No, BOD आज 50 मिलेगा, कल नहीं मिलेगा. So you have to make a consistency. And BOD is the rate at which organism use the oxygen while stabilizing decomposable organic. Now this is the SVI. Now a lot of people are confused why I should measure the SVI. These are all fundamental. कोई ज़्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है. Retain करना है कुछ टाइम के लिए. If it is more than 80, excellent, but leave the files. If sludge age is too long, अब रेट नहीं किया. 80 to 150 normal zone, usually targeting 100 and 120. मेरा ये प्रेजेंटेशन देख के बाद जब वो ऑडिट पे जाता है तो लोग पूछने लगता है कि आपका एसबीआई कितना है. बोलो वो बच्चा सबने दिखाया था ऑडिट में. ऐसा नहीं होता है. दिस इज माय ओन एक्सपीरियंस. आप आपका प्लान का बताओ. And if it is more than 150, then there is a no setup. So it's suspending your secondary clarifier or any other tertiary treatment. So main condition for the bacteria, food, not powder, not maida, but your synthetic effluent or your own effluent, temperature, oxygen, pH and toxic substance. So CETP में ये problem होता. CETP में इलेक्ट्रोप्लेटिंग का मेटल फिनिशिंग वाला भी आता है, ऑर्गोप्लेटिकल भी आता है, तो कहाँ चलेगा? ठीक हम बोलता है कि जिनिक वाला चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा. Because it contains lot of toxic substance. Phenol होता है उसमें, नहीं बैक्टीरिया नहीं सर्वाइव करता है. You have to develop a phenolic bacteria. Then you can adjust. The main characteristics of ASP load, how much load you have. एक टाइम हुआ था कि लोड का एक पैरामीटर हो जाए. अभी मिलीग्राम पर लीटर एक केजी पर डे वाला चले. एक मोमेंट था आज से 15-20 साल पहले. हम पे भी था उसमें हमारे एरिया कि हाँ अच्छा है. अभी ये जमेला गया 50-250 100 वाला जमेला गया. अभी ये लोड पे आए, बट पता नहीं वो चला है. हो सकता है वो शायद रिवाइव हो. लोड एफिशिएंसी, एफएम रेशियो, स्लज एज एंड एसवीआई, these are the important characteristics for ASP. The same thing. So mixing in the RSN tank, DO level and type of microorganisms. That is very important. कि कौन सा microbes है वो आपको decide करना है. Some of the industry we have installed a vibrating stream basically in a neutralized effluent. Once it neutralized, it has a lot of fine particles. So it is very difficult to remove it primary clarifier. It's a floating particles. So by any flocculant or coordinated noise factor, so at that time we had decided to have a vibrating stream, and it successfully worked in one of the industry in Nandesari. It gives 100% result. Now during my period we installed one. Now they have 10 such vibrating stream in different areas. So this is the basic. I think everybody understand the input and output. It contains everything. Bioreactor, even anaerobic also, particularly in other countries. So some of the important parameters, the smart way, operating schedules. This is very important. What are your operating schedules? Where you have to add the phosphoric acid, where you have to add the urea solution, where you have to maintain the DO. दिन में कम ज़्यादा और रात में कम रखो, then you can save the energy. Then operating KPIs. This is very important. ISO 14001 definitely require all these things. But operating KPIs, how to operate the neutralization tank, how to operate the flocculators. These all KPIs we are preparing the industries. That's a part of ISO. Then data collection and monitoring. Now this is a data age, AI and machine learning. Response with the corrective action. इंडस्ट्री में बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता है. दिस इज माय ओन एक्सपीरियंस. मेरा न्यूट्रलाइज फॉर्म खराब हो गया, मेंटेनेंस में मैं लिख के दूंगा, मेरा खराब हो गया, 3 दिन बाद आएगा, बोले अभी मेरा प्रोडक्शन में ज्यादा टाइम है, आई हैव अ टारगेट टू मैन्युफैक्चर दिस. सो दैट शेड्यूल, दैट रिस्पॉन्स इज वेरी corrective action and preventive action. SOPs, definitely SOPs is required for all every activity. Work instruction, that is useful for the lower level of people. Not only on environment safety angle also. They should not touch the unhygienic condition. Checklist, that is very important. Where I have to check, what I have to check. Then operator logs, product process change. This is very important. I think the Germans are very smart here. And that is called as a MOC, management of change, that we implemented in one of the MNC in Baroda. When we change the product or when we change the process, there is a certain guidelines we have to follow. That is called a management of change. I have given a number of lectures to my subordinate, how to fill the form, to whom we contact, which area is responsible, when they are going to change the process. So this is very important. Chemical detail that I already mentioned. Process balancing, that's again very important. If your process is imbalanced, then your wastewater has to be disturbed. Operation sequence chart and system setting and alarms. Alarm is to industry nahi hota hai, but now they realize. I share one of the example. In one of the industries, they use the butadiene liquid, जो सऊदी अरेबिया से आता था, और आपने शायद बड़ौदा में आप जब आते हैं तो आपने 2 स्फीयर देखा होगा. एक स्फीयर लंबे सरी में है, एक बड़ा मोटा स्फीयर है, बहुत जबरदस्त बड़ा. एक आईपीसीएल जो था वो रिलायंस में है, आपने देखा होगा शायद. दैट इज अ लाइट बॉम्ब वी कैन सी. पहले क्या होता था कि जो ब्यूटाडाइन आता था वो टैंकर से सीधा उसमें अनलोड किया. अब उसको जब ये समर में टेम्परेचर वेरिएशन से प्रॉपर्टी चेंज पोलिमराइज होना शुरू हो जाता. So there is a certain deposition at the top level. So you have to maintain a cooling system. But उससे भी बहुत प्रॉब्लम आता है. So they have to clean the BD sphere every month with the caustic solution. So you just imagine 200 meter cube sphere and they add more than 100 meter cube caustic solution. They wash it and they drain. Where they drain? They drain in a ETP. And when we measure, the COD is more than 2 lakh. This complete organism. And the entire wastewater treatment plant was disturbed for a month. So what we decided, we convinced the top management. I personally discussed with the managing director of the company. Sir, this is very difficult. I cannot manage, and if authority comes, we have a closer office. Then we selected certain areas. All 100 meter cube BD clean water we store, and slowly we discharge into the ETP over a period of 3-4 months. So we change the method. So ये कोई बताएगा नहीं कैसे करना है. But when you face the problem, you understand how to maintain. उसके बाद तो वहाँ company में problem नहीं आते. Change a lot of technologies also. So operations are the activities to make sure the plant produce the desired quality and quantity of treated water. मैं यहाँ अटक नहीं जाता हूँ. treated water recycle भी करना है. Now there is no water in this year. Okay, they already declared El Nino नहीं, La Nino है कुछ. अभी La Nino होने वाला है. La Nina. तो ये सारा अच्छा बारिश होगा. But you just imagine 5 साल से अच्छा हो रहा है, अगर बारिश नहीं हुआ तो नो वाटर. इवन अभी जो कल पेपर में पढ़ रहा था 30% जो डैम से वो ड्राई हो रहा है. If summer extended, it is a difficult condition. So I have always instruct the industry, support the industry, recycle as maximum as possible. I had given an example in the morning, like the Infosys. They have more than 2,000, 5,000 employees. They have a zero discharge. I visited the plant in 2017-18. Zero discharge, 100% recycle. Bangalore में है पानी नहीं है तो वो तो पड़ेगा. Biocon, 80% recycle. Toyota, we visited in Mysore. It was for Toyota. They have a zero discharge. In spite of they have a lot of metals. So somebody says technology no longer technology available. We have to implement it. So wastewater collection and treatment system must be operated, designed to adhere meet standard to the effluent and protect the water bodies, water quality. So it's a very complex process. It is not easy. Sir already mentioned. It is not at all easy. Tech, Maggi nahi hai, noodles nahi hai. This is a really serious challenge for wastewater treatment in any industry, small scale, mid scale, or medium scale. Many situations occur which can lead to disruption of the process. जैसे मैंने बताया release gear का example. Then number one, एक बार एक इंडस्ट्री में जो HCl स्टोरेज कैन स्टोर किया था, रात को 2 बजे HCl स्टोरेज कैन फट गया. 25 kL HCl पूरा स्टोर वाटर से बाहर गया. मुझे फोन आया 2 बजे, मैं गया स्टोर खुलवाया. स्टोर तो खुला नहीं सकते क्योंकि इंचार्ज जो होता है, सिक्योरिटी का परमिशन लिया, साइन किया, स्टोर खुलवाया. 50 बेड पॉजिटिव स्टोर वाटर में डाला न्यूट्रल करने के लिए. So any situation occur at any time, we have to be ready. So good operation and maintenance procedure influence the continuity of the process. A well-working troubleshooting will lead to early warning with problems or even emergency situation, so that measure can be taken at early stage. So process controller has a key role for the operation and maintenance of wastewater treatment. So size is very important. Know your team skill. This is very important. मैं सुबह शाम को बोल रहा था कि 2013-14 में मैंने टीम भेजा था. शायद पूरे गुजरात से हमारी टीम आया था यहाँ पर कुछ सीखने के लिए. कुछ अच्छा आपका देखा था वेबसाइट पे. एंड आई नॉमिनेटेड टीम 4 गर्ल्स आई थी. आज भी वो अलग अलग इंडस्ट्री में काम करती है. आज करते साहब को नीरे में जो सिखा था मैं आज इनको करती. So this is the point what we have to learn from each other. So team skill and capability. आज सबको ऑटोकैड सीखना है, एआई सीखना है, मशीन लर्निंग सीखना है. अभी तो फ्री कोर्स था, तो लिंक्डइन में जाओ फ्री कोर्स. बट हाउ टू ऑपरेट द एएसपी, उसका फ्री कोर्स नहीं. वो सब फ्री कोर्स हम शुरू करें. कुछ मेरा तो इच्छा है, मैं तो जहाँ जाता हूँ उसको बोलता हूँ कि आप करोगे कुछ एएसपी में करो. बहुत सारा पीपल हमने ट्रेन किया है एंड दे हेल्प टू द इंडस्ट्री. Develop a clear key performance, obtain senior management support. This is very important. In industry, senior management support is very important. Program sponsors with authority to change. कब change करना है? People, process and equipment. Focus on trouble areas. Engage people with trust and respect. Respect देना पड़ेगा. Environment में काम करना है तो ये फालतू आदमी नहीं है. He also has some respect. वो है तो हम है, नहीं तो हम कल बंद हो जाएगा फैक्ट्री में. So we have to make a respect and update stakeholder. This is ESG. अभी stakeholder पूछ रहा है कि आपका क्या है performance? How you are manage your environment, not only water, air, hazardous waste. So this is the ESG era. This is the live example. In my previous organization, we had implemented the IoT, the Internet of Things valve. So wastewater discharge outlet, we put a one valve. This is a very simple valve. Only 30,000, 40,000 rupees a cost. 34 valve we had installed. And this is an engineering parameter, but the main function, if your wastewater is not meet the norms, if your quality is deviating from the permission, then valve will be open opposite direction. So your effluent going back to the treatment, not to the receiving one. So this is a very positive sign we have implemented, and it gives a lot of approval and a lot of. So these are working. Even the next slide. This is the live example. And so I trained one environmental engineer. Now that this girl is working in Mumbai also in one of the company. So sometimes they call me, sir, वो आप जो सिखाया था ना अभी वो यहाँ पे implement करना. Good. So these are the ये industry का चालू है बंद है चालू है बंद है. See operate from home. उसको मोबाइल ऐप दे दिया था. मैं बोला देखो भाई बंद हो रहा है कब चालू हो रहा है. And make the records. So this all data we have checked. Then the real-time monitoring system. So one we have the flow meter, then the parameters. Now when technologies are available, at least 6 parameters can measure: pH, suspended solid, BOD, COD, ammonium nitrogen, and color. These 6 parameters you can measure in a one instrument. There are separate two electrodes are there, and that electrode are also approved by the APA. So there is no issue. You can check it. Another thing is the auto sample. Now a lot of people confused why there is a need of auto sample. Now if there is a continuous process, your wastewater is continuously discharging. Generally, problem happen in the night and particularly midnight after 2 o'clock. चोरी रात को ज़्यादा होता है. So 2 o'clock के बाद वो disturb होना शुरू हो जाता है. तो up to 5 o'clock there is a untreated issue. So that we learn a lesson. I separately send a vehicle, particularly 2 o'clock. But when there is a human interference, there is always a question mark, outcomes. ये आदमी मिल रहा होगा, ये सब होता रहता है. So we develop a auto sample. I think it's easily available. 1 lakh rupees a person. कोई इंडस्ट्री को 1 लाख नहीं पुसाएगा, पीएससी को नहीं पुसाएगा, वो बात को मालूम कर जाती है. And it is very easy. Every hour to calibrate it. Every hour they take 20 ml, 30 ml. So what we will do, we collect all the 20-25 samples every day. So my team goes there, they check. First 10 bottles are same, 11 to 15 bottles are different color, and 16 to 24 bottles are totally different color. So I advise them, take 3 composite samples. Ultimately have an analysis cost also. So we advise them collect 3 batch. One batch normal sample, second batch little bit from color, and third one is the very turbid one, very difficult one. And we evaluate it. Maximum they take the advantage during night. So we force them to install a auto sample. Robotic operation like the extended aeration zone, or sometimes we have to clean it. In my previous organization, we faced very serious problem. Voltas का aerator था, वो गिर गया अंदर. अब aeration नहीं होगा तो क्या होगा? हम सुबह आए तो मेंटेनेंस को बोला, मेंटेनेंस बोला ये तो बहुत टफ है, खाली करना पड़ेगा. And लोग डरा रहे थे, खाली करेंगे तो इतना स्लच होगा आप डूब जाएंगे. तो बोला क्या करें बॉस? Then ultimately replace the aerators. Voltas का 84 से 2002 तक चला, 2003 में प्रॉब्लम. वो आता है मेंटेनेंस आता है. So there is a वो बैग इंडिया में अच्छा था कि gasket you have to change every year. If it is a damage or not damage, you have to replace every year. So it give a peace of mind. After preventive maintenance, so you should not worry about the corrective maintenance. So these are the technologies are available. Lot of technologies of robotic operation of the sludge. This is in India. In some part of the Harvard area, they are doing the activities to clean the sludge. Now this is very important. That only 2-3 slides are there. Now this is the crux of the entire automation, digitization, or you can say IoT implementation. So what we have done, first we implemented the real-time online monitoring system. The flow meter was the first in 2010-11 to identify the quantity, because quantity was the bread and butter. Quality was not our issue, it was managed by the authority. So we installed a flow meter first, dedicated flow meter. It gives every 15-minute data on a dashboard. Then 2014 we forced them to go for a real-time online monitoring system for measuring 6-7 parameters. Then we forced them to 2017, before the COVID, 17 we forced them to purchase the auto sample in a phased manner. And 2018 we forced them to go for a 3-way bar, all member industry. So if your out of any 6 parameter it not meet the norms, one will open opposite direction. If your flow meter like 25 meter to a day, or 500 meter cube a day. If you discharge 510, at that time your valve will be open in opposite direction. And auto sampler will collect all the 24-hour samples, so we can identify which time the disturbance occurred. And all this has to be checked at the control panel. The control panel at my office. So we can control, and then all the data we given to the authority. So dashboard, authority can check at any time. Even in live session, I had mentioned that all CETPs have to be implemented this one. And if the authority measure, like they have 30 CETP, like in Gujarat 35 CETP, they can measure the performance of all the CETP, including camera also. We put a camera also. Even people are so smart. In spite of all these things, they take the advantage. So we put a camera also. So camera, after camera, we got them also. So this is for the continuous discharge. Those discharges 24/7. And next slide is for the restricted discharge. So restricted discharge, one additional one is the IoT one. So where we have to open it and where we have to close it. So these are the system. Live example, it is working since last 5-7 years in my area. And very simple cost. So, okay, we have done a lot of R&D, I can say, a lot of R&D. So this is all the system. So a few years back, the entire world was struggling under the violent pandemic COVID-19. And even the COVID, nobody is ready to touch the wastewater. And there was a lot of reports are there. It contained the sewage and it may have a COVID infection. So even my people was very afraid. But at that time, we trained them, we provide a lot of safety appliances. Regularly, we sanitize the areas, sanitize the container also. Then and then they work with the system. Yes, this is very important. Now, how to surveillance? Now, we have a 55-kilometer long area. Now, in one area, there is a 10 CETPs, you just imagine. How to measure? So, during 2016-17, I sent a proposal to Director General of Civil Aviation. I want to use the drone plane to check who is going to do the illegal activity in the night time. Because we cannot put a jammer. Jammer, if you need a jammer, you have an approval from the commissioner. We also tried that one, but it was not permission. So I wrote a letter to Director General of Civil Aviation. We need a, but at that time there was no policy. They said you first approach your local authority. We contacted the local police commissioner. They had not given permission. Nowadays, permission are available. So why we should not implement? And now I understand that drone also take the samples. Drone come down and take the samples in an open area. When they discharge in the river or when they discharge, like some of the river issue we have. So that can be possible. And the analytics, data analytics, that is very important, artificial intelligence, that we can definitely check. So computer, IT, chemical engineering, it all support to the environment to achieve the results. So this is from my side. Any questions? कोई बोलेगा कि ये तो बहुत कॉमन है, बट कॉमन में ही अनकॉमन हो जाता है कभी। हम डेली यूज करता है, मेरा 35 इयर्स इसीलिए गया है, कोल्ड वॉशरी से लेके रिफाइनरी, पेपर इंडस्ट्री में, ये सब में हमको प्रॉब्लम आता है, वी फाइंड नो सॉल्यूशन। एनर्जी रख के थोड़ा लड़ाई झगड़ा तो होता है, पर एनवायरनमेंट में तो कोई मानता नहीं है, बट हमारा काम है कि कैसे उसको मनाएं। Yes, any question? Yes. कोई माइक है, दे दो।
Hello. Sir, all technologies are available there for whatever sort of wastewater you want to treat. And there are also regulatory bodies to monitor this industry. So my question is, still why the seed bills are not working properly? Why are fuels and the environment is getting contaminated?
What I explained is the operation and maintenance issue, and they want to save the cost. This is the main issue. So that's why our thrust is only to by simple operation and maintenance. Any design can design anyone. Lot of IITs, lot of people are designing excellent treatment plant, but you are not operating. Then what will happen? The railway excellently working. It operate design को अनरेस्ट करते रहे बाद में हमने उसमें एडिशन डिलीशन जो करना था किया, but it operated. So कितना smartly operated.
Why they are not getting penalized? That they will compare to operate.
There are a lot of penalized issues. You read that, you go to the NGT site. Lot of penalty in the even one state pollution control board collected more than 300 crore rupees penalties. So penalizing is not solve the issues. You have to change the mindset. And mindset change के लिए young generation चाहिए. Young generation को IT में जाना, IT में नहीं जाना. Environment technology में नहीं जाना. वो कोई बोला था शायद किसी senior person ने बोला IT and BT. Environmental technology, biotechnology and information technology. तो environmental technology first बोला था. So young generation and we all scientists and engineers has to change the methodology. There are a number of industry ethical behaviors are improved. Even when I operate the plant in 1993 and 2010, lot of change happened. But the action taken by, we should not wait for the action taken by the authority. It is our ethical practice also. Even I also given a lecture on ethics on environment. So many times I have given a lecture in the management association. So ethics is very important. But we have to be optimistic rather than the pessimistic, and situation will definitely improve if we decided to improve. That's why top management is very important. If top management support, you will definitely succeed. And now ESG, the 1,000 company, they have to submit the report. They already started. Now the next era is the ESG. You just read any website of MCA and find out the ESG document, 36-page document. 10 documents are only an environment. What are your wastewater, how much wastewater generated, what are the parameters, last time, how many times you take the maintenance, shutdown, preventive maintenance, corrective maintenance, everything is there. So it will definitely, government is also working very hard. So it is not like that nobody is working, but some mindset change is required. Yes, any other question? From student side. Because student have a very bright future. Environment engineer जब मैं आपको बता रहा था, जब मैं इंजीनियर निकला मुझे जॉब नहीं मिला था. आज के जैसा ही सिचुएशन था, आज से मेरा खराब था. आज तो ACPCA एडमिशन कमिटी फॉर प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज. हमारे टाइम पे ऐसा नहीं था. हमारे टाइम में कॉलेज था कि एक कॉलेज में जाओ, दूसरा में जाओ, तीसरे में जाओ, फॉर्म भरो, सिलेक्शन. और मेरे टाइम में तो मुझे मालूम भी नहीं था कि एनवायरमेंटल इंजीनियरिंग है. सिविल, मैकेनिकल, इलेक्ट्रिकल 3 ब्रांच था. और मैं बताया जो प्रोफेसर पीपी ओझा हु हैज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड द कोर्स इन गुजरात, जब मेरा एडमिशन हो गया कमिटी में, तो बोला एनवायरमेंट में, तो मेरा मदर पूछे क्या, मैं बोला ये पर्यावरण है. बोले पर्यावरण क्या पढ़ने का, पर्यावरण तो फॉलो करना होता है. मेरा मदर बता रही थी. मैं बोला बात सही है, पर्यावरण तो फॉलो करना होता है. एंड व्हेन आई जस्ट टॉक टू डॉक्टर पीपी ओझा, सर व्हाट आर द चांसेस ऑफ जॉब, तो साहब ने बोला था कि मिस्टर पंचाल, आई कैन नॉट एश्योर यू, फर्स्ट 3 years you will not get the job, but after 15 years you are earning double than the chemical and mechanical engineer, and I had proved. So environmental engineer फर्स्ट कोल्हापुर में शुरू हुआ, दूसरा एलडी इंजीनियरिंग में शुरू हुआ, अभी शायद साउथ में भी चालू हुआ है. सो वेरी ब्राइट फ्यूचर, बट यू हैव टू गो डीप एंड डीप. नॉट ओनली द, कोई पीएचडी नहीं कर रहा है ईएसपी में, पता नहीं कोई कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है. यहाँ ईएसपी में पीएचडी तो कोई नहीं कर रहा. मैं एमएस यूनिवर्सिटी में प्रोफेसर को बोला था, तो बोले हाँ आई एम गोइंग टू एनकरेज द स्टूडेंट. इवन रिसेंटली पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी में मेरा लेक्चर था, तो मैंने बोला व्हाई यू शुड नॉट एनकरेज द स्टूडेंट और सम असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर टू गो फॉर ए पीएचडी इन ईएसपी. अच्छा टेक्नोलॉजी ये करता रहा एंड कंप्लाई हो रहा. ऐसा नहीं है जैसे साहब ने पूछा कि कंप्लाइन नहीं हो रहा है, पर हो रहा है और एएसपी से ही हो रहा है। यस, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? नहीं, आपका सबका टाइम है।
Thank you, sir, for the in-depth oration which helped us understand the on-field concepts of automation and wastewater treatment plants. Now I request Dr. Atul Vaidya, sir, to present monitor to our speakers. Let's move towards the concluding part. I request Mr. Prakash Kumbhari to propose the vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries, मेरे colleagues, students, teachers और मेरे सभी साथी थे, जैसा कि सर ने बताया, कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी बुरी नहीं है, उसको ऑपरेशन और मेंटेनेंस करना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। जैसे कि आप सब ऑडियंस है, यहाँ पे बैठे हुए आप सभी अच्छे हैं, तो कोई भी आपको देखे कोई कुछ नहीं कहेगा, लेकिन माइंड सेट में प्रॉब्लम है कि नहीं? तो हो जाता है कई बार, मतलब इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। वैसे टेक्नोलॉजी का है, ऑपरेशन एंड मेंटेनेंस जब उसका बिगड़ जाता है टेक्नोलॉजी की प्रॉब्लम करने की है, तो हमारा भी माइंडसेट से कभी हो जाता है। तो माइंडसेट उन्होंने जो बताया, तो मैंने ऑडियंस का आपको बोला है, तो इसमें ऐसा नहीं है कि टेक्नोलॉजी मतलब हमारी भी बायोलॉजिकल टेक्नोलॉजी अंदर चल रही है, उसका माइंडसेट एक पार्ट है। तो वैसा ही जो उन्होंने बताया ऑपरेशन एंड मेंटेनेंस, तो जो उन्होंने बताया है पूरा, तो वहां पे देखेंगे कि उन्होंने जो इंडस्ट्री का पार्ट बताया, उन्होंने जो अनुभव साझा किए, तो वहां पे आप देखेंगे कि टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंटरवेंशन, टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं। और यहाँ पे भी जो उन्होंने बताया, उनका टॉप मैनेजमेंट अगर चाहे तो बहुत कुछ हो सकता है, मतलब माइंडसेट का प्रॉब्लम है। तो टेक्नोलॉजी हमेशा अच्छी है, हम चाहे वॉशिंग मशीन घर में यूज करते हैं या फिर कोई क्या कहते हैं कपड़े धोने वाली मशीन को देता हूँ, नहीं याद आ रही है उसकी, डिश क्या कहते हैं सर, डिश वॉशर। तो बहुत सी देखता हूँ मैं डिश वॉशर, बहुत से घरों में जाता हूँ तो बहुत पूरा मतलब कहीं पिछवाड़े में पड़ी रहती है, कहीं पे साइड में पड़ी रहती है। बहुत जगह जाता हूँ मैं, मतलब जो भाभी जी होती है उनसे पूछता हूँ, भाभी जी क्या है, तो कहते हैं कि वो भाई साहब ली तो थी लेकिन वो 4-5 दिन में टाई कर गई। तो वो मतलब एक्चुअली वो भाभी जी का फॉल्ट है कि वो मशीन का फॉल्ट है, ये हमें पता नहीं चलता। तो वही सब इंडस्ट्री और कोई भी चीज है, तो जब हम रिसर्च करते हैं या कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, तो माइंडसेट बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले करता है। और आज के दिन जो इस संदेश का होगा, माइंडसेट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो टेक्नोलॉजी को हैंडल करने के लिए, उसका ऑपरेशन और मेंटेनेंस के लिए हमें उस तरह से तैयारी करनी होगी, और हमारा जो पार्ट है उसको बहुत अच्छी तरीके से टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए विजुक्शन लगता है। ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब हम टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करने में, क्योंकि देखिए आज भी कंप्यूटर पे हम बैठते हैं तो बहुत से आपको देखेंगे कि जो कंप्यूटर से चीज बनाते हैं, भागते हैं, बहुत से हैं बहुत अच्छी तरीके से कर लेते हैं, लेकिन हमारे जैसे कंप्यूटर से थोड़ा भागना चाहते हैं क्योंकि हमें ठीक से उसको यूज करने में या इच्छा नहीं होती या फिर उसको यूज नहीं होती। तो सर आपको बहुत बहुत थैंक्स, आपने बहुत अच्छा टेक्नोलॉजी डे पे जो है, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी इंपॉर्टेंट है लेकिन उसको ऑपरेट करने वाले भी उतने ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी कोई बुरी नहीं है, लेकिन ऑपरेट करने वाले उनका माइंडसेट का प्रॉब्लम है। तो ये आज का मैसेज था, तो इसी के साथ उनका थैंक्स। और डायरेक्टर साहब ने जो बताया कंट्रीब्यूशन जो प्रोफेसर खन्ना के थे, तो नेवी के लिए एनवायरमेंटल टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रही है और इसमें हम हमेशा काम करते रहेंगे। तो आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और मेरे जितने साथी सेक्शंस, डिविजन्स, अपनी वर्टिकल सब वर्टिकल जो भी है, तो उन सभी का धन्यवाद। और जो डायरेक्ट और प्रत्यक्ष या अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से जुड़े रहे हमारे साथ और हमारे कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाने में, मैडम का भी बहुत बहुत थैंक्स। और मेरे सभी साथी और जो कोलीग्स यहाँ पर आए, जितनी ऑडियंस है, जितने स्टूडेंट्स है, टीचर्स है, मीडिया है, सभी का बहुत बहुत थैंक्स। और इन सभी के साथ मैं आपको अनुरोध करता हूँ आप सभी से तालियां क्यों बजा दी आपने? मेरी तो कुछ कहा ही नहीं है सर। नहीं, हंसना लाइट ऑफ गुड। अब इसी के साथ मैं आप सभी को अनुरोध करता हूँ कि आप अपनी अपनी जगह खड़े हो जाए। हम नेशनल एंथम राष्ट्रगान की
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा। तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
धन्यवाद। आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि डिग्निटरीज को पढ़े जाएंगे।
बहुत सारे